So we are continuing again. Let me share the screen. So in this architecture, the load store instructions are there. So load store instructions, obviously data is loaded, the results are stored in the architecture. But in this architecture, load store instructions are not there. So obviously no load store architecture is there in the sys. So RISC has single cycle operation. Single cycle operation means all the instructions are executed in a single cycle, and in sys, multi-cycle of operations are there. Means any instruction can be executed in one cycle or two cycle or three cycle, depending upon the complexity of instruction. If suppose you are exchanging data between the external memory and the CPU, so the instruction cycle will be maybe two cycle or three cycle instruction. So in RISC, one more comparison is that RISC is having complexity in hardware, but in sys the complexity is there in software. So this is the this is the RISC and sys architecture. So as you can see, all the architectures are covered for processor or the controller. Okay, so if no doubts, then we can move on to another topic. So see the features of the microprocessor or microcontroller. So today we are going to see the features of ARM processor, AVR processor, PIC processor, or the 89C51 processor. In previous subject, that is microcontroller and application, we have already studied about 89C51. So the major features are that your 89C51 is compatible with the MC5 family, that is 51 family. Means it is compatible with any MC family microcontroller. It is having 8-bit data bus is there, 8-bit ALU is there. Means it can exchange 8-bit data at the same time, and it can process 8-bit data, that is arithmetical logical operations can be performed at the same time on 8-bit data. It has 4 kilobyte of on-chip flash memory, that is its ROM is 4 kilobyte, its RAM is around 16-bit address bus is there. So because of that, the 64 kilobyte of data can be accessed, but it is having generally the 4 kilobyte of on-chip memory, and the 128 byte of RAM is there. Again, it has having 4 ports, that is port 0, port 1, port 2, and port 3. It has two 16-bit timers are there. Then the 6 interrupt sources are there. You know that the T0 interrupt is there, T1 interrupt is there, RITI interrupts are there, correct? the reset interrupt is there. So likewise, the total 6 interrupts are there. It has 2 level of interrupt priority, means 1 level, 2 level, 2 level interrupt priorities are there, and it is having a power saving mode. Ideal mode and power saving modes are two power saving modes are available in the microcontroller 89C51. Okay. Okay. Sorry for interruption. So next, that is the PIC controller, that is programmable interface controllers are there. So in PIC, it is obviously the sys architecture is there. So sys means obviously what are the features of RISC architecture. What are the features of RISC are there? The same features of PIC controller will be there. So in PIC, the on-chip ROM is there. That on-chip RAM is also there. On-chip E2P ROM is also there. So obviously, 3 types of memories are there in PIC controller. It has inbuilt timers also. It has inbuilt ADC. This feature is uh, advantage of PIC as compared to 89C51, because for 89C51 we have to use analog to digital converter externally in the circuit, but in PIC controller it has inbuilt port. One dedicated port is there which has inbuilt ADC. Okay, it has UART for the PC communication similar to your 89C51. uh, in addition to that, it has CAN bus, SPI bus, and I2C protocols as a serial communication protocol. So there, you will get to know about what is CAN bus, SPI bus, I2C bus. These are the serial communication protocols. Some of them are asynchronous communication protocols, some of them are synchronous communication protocols, and it supports end stage pipelining. So pipelining, in short, I will explain that. It is very much similar to that. Suppose you are driving a car. Huh? While driving a car, if you are speaking to someone else in the car, then what your brain processes, that it processes driving as well as it processes talking, and also it processes vision, means whatever your eyes sees on the road. So that is your pipeline, you can say. Means for short period of time your brain processes the vision, for short interval of time your brain processes the coordination between hand and legs for the acceleration and driving purpose, and for some part of time it processes the ears, so that you can hear the sound of someone else who is in the car, and also your tongue, so that you can speak your vocal cord, you can speak. So your brain for short interval of time processes each input data and generates the output. So that is called as a pipelining, means it is nothing but the multitasking. And your PIC microcontroller also provides the interrupt controlling. Okay, so these are the features of PIC controller. Okay, so actually the PIC controller having more rigidness than 89C51. It is extensive, but still the programming of PIC is easy rather than the 89C51, because it is having the inbuilt ADC. Okay, the next is AVR. AVR microcontroller. Actually, the AVR microcontroller, the name is given on the founders of that controller, the Alf Egil Bogen Vegard Bolen RISC microcontroller. The Alf Egil Bogen was the one scientist, and Vegard Bolen was the second scientist. So, Alf Egil Bogen Vegard Bolen RISC microcontroller. So that is your AVR microcontroller. It is also called as the Advanced Virtual RISC machine. So it is also a RISC microcontroller. So the main features of this AVR is that multifunction and bidirectional general purpose I/O ports are there. It is having multiple internal oscillators. It is having internal safe programmable instruction flash memory up to 256 kilobytes. In system programming, which is available in 89351 as well as PIC microcontroller and as well as in AVR microcontroller. Internal E-square PROM is there along with your ROM. It is having internal E-square PROM up to 4 kilobyte. Again, the RAM is not general RAM. It is having static RAM, SRAM. It is called as a SRAM. We know that SRAM, DRAM, the two types of RAMs are there. So this is internal SRAM of 16 kilobyte is there. External 64 kilobyte of ADN data space can be given to the AVR. It has 8-bit and 16-bit, two types of timer. The PWM output, that is pulse width modulation output. Generally, it is useful in the motor controlling operation to control the speed of motor. This PWM output is required. Then the analog comparators are there, inbuilt comparators are there. The 10 or 12-bit A to D converters are there, and it is having multiplexing up to 16 channels. It means 16 inputs can be connected at the same time. It has 12-bit D2A converter also there, means digital to analog converters, and it can give analog output also to drive the motors or some displays. Then it is I2C compatible. What I told in case of PIC that it can support CAN bus, SPI bus, and I2C compatibility. So here also AVR has I2C compatibility. Then synchronous, asynchronous serial programming is there. Okay. Then the SPI interface is also available here in AVR microcontroller. Okay. So this is your AVR feature. So the features are increasing as the controller are changing, and the latest controllers are obviously the ARM controllers, advanced RISC machines. Advanced RISC machines are there. The latest controller. We know that nowadays we are having ARM11 in our phone, in our mobile. ARM11 controllers or processors are there. So features of ARM processor is that it is having load store RISC architecture. The thumb instruction sets of 32-bit instruction can be used. Now, what is meant by thumb instruction? Actually, this thumb instruction is not there in your syllabus, but still, your processor can operate in normal mode and in thumb instruction mode. In thumb instruction mode, the number of what you say general purpose registers, the accessibility of processor registers decreases in thumb instruction. You can say that जसं आपण म्हणतो की काहीतरी जसं आता लॉकडाऊन मध्ये वागण्यासाठी काही समाजात वागण्यासाठी काही अडचणी अटी आल्या होत्या, तसंच इथे सिमिलरली तुम्ही असं म्हणू शकता की in thumb instruction there are user limitations, आणि मोस्ट ऑफ द रेजिस्टर्स हे 32 बिटच्या ऐवजी 16 बिट मोड मध्ये काम करतात. सो इट हॅज एफिशियंट मल्टी कोर प्रोसेसिंग, जसं आपण म्हणतो ऑक्टा कोर, क्वाड कोर. सो दिस कोर मल्टी कोर प्रोसेसिंग इज देअर इन ARM कंट्रोलर. इट सपोर्ट्स मल्टी प्रोसेसिंग, मोस्टली सिंगल सायकल एक्झिक्युशन इन्स्ट्रक्शन्स आर देअर, कारण की हा रिस्क प्रोसेसर आहे. एनहान्स्ड पॉवर सेव्हिंग डिझाईन आहे. 64 and 32-bit execution states of scalability, high performance आहे. Again, it supports memory management unit and the memory protection unit. So means MMU and MPUs are there in the ARM processor. Also, the digital signal processing algorithms also supported by the ARM processor. So this is nothing but your ARM processor. Getting? So this is it for today's lecture. So what we generally studied, we studied today the embedded system. We studied today the embedded systems, then the types of architectures of embedded system, and the types of processors or controllers of embedded system. So this is it in today's lecture. We'll see in the next lecture. So for regarding the same lecture, I'll post the video of today's lecture in the chat box.